Yo, what is going on, guys? I just wanted to hop on here real quick and give my 2 cents on the whole marathon situation. And I will preface by saying this is more so a commentary on the commentary about this game as opposed to the nitty gritty specifics. I'm coming from the perspective of someone who likes PvP or typical arena style PvP and battle royales. But I played Marathon just because it is a bungie game and I thought it looked interesting, and I actually really liked it. Despite it being an extraction shooter, I played for hours and I kind of got lost in the loop and the environment, and I thought it was really interesting. But then I went online after and saw that all the streamers and everyone in the comments of these Instagram reels were kind of tearing the game to shreds. I went in without any preconceived notions before I saw any other commentary on this little weekend playtest, and I was like, you know what, I'm having a good time. I think this is pretty fun. And then my first exposure to the community reaction was just extremely negative, and I was like, why is this happening? I think there's a lot of things that go into this. On the one hand, the biggest thing is that gaming is just not how it used to be. Back when I was in middle school, high school, everyone would play the games they liked. You play Halo, you like that. That's what you play. You play COD, that's what you like. And then you kind of mind your business. But there's this notion now that every game that hits the market has to be the next big thing. And it has to be the only thing, the streamers, the masses are playing for the next several months. And if it's not that, then you can just get rid of it. You can act like it doesn't exist. And I don't know why it's lost on people that you can just play what you like, even if the Steam charts aren't popping through the roof and you can just play the game you like, and that game can have its community, however big, small, medium, whatever size it is. That game can just exist alongside other games. And it doesn't need to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be Arc Raiders or Marathon. It's very possible that they both have their respective communities. Marathon, obviously, I think it's fair to say, it will almost definitely have a smaller community than Arc, but it doesn't, just because Arc Raiders exists and it's what every streamer is playing doesn't mean that Marathon should be discarded. So that's very strange to me that everyone is treating these games like the stock market and they're trying to predict their downfall before they even see the light of day. I think the other part of that is the lack of trust between the publisher and the consumer. For over a decade now, people have been getting burned by microtransactions, battle passes, and they're just getting finessed, and bad releases. And publishers have made it very clear that they don't actually care about what the consumer thinks about the game, as long as they can get them on the hook long enough to pay for the updates and things like that. So I think people do have a little bit of disdain for these publishers. So if the game doesn't actually fully grab them and immerse them, and it's not the best game ever, then more often than not, they're going to root for it to fail because they think that publisher is like a parasite just trying to extract money from them. So there's a lot that goes into it. There's definitely a hive mind. The streamers have too much sway, and I think the lack of trust between the consumer and the publisher is something where it's like, it's not just maybe this game isn't my thing, but other people will like it. It's, if I don't like this game, then I genuinely want it to fail. And that's pretty, I can understand the kind of vitriol there, why people have grown a little bit tired of these publishers. But I don't know, if you just take Marathon at face value, I think it's very enjoyable. And then you get some people saying, oh, it has bad graphics. That is just a non-starter for me. I'm not good. Like, if someone says that, then they clearly don't understand that maybe a game can have its own art direction, its own style, and it doesn't have to be, like I've seen other people, photorealistic for it to be, a good game in 2026. It's okay for a publisher to try something different, And I like the art direction in Marathon. I like how the guns look. I like how some of the characters look. Some of them give me kind of weird vibes, but I don't, the loading screens kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. But the environments, I like the environments. I like the guns. regarding specifics of the gameplay, I will say the PvP, as you would expect in an extraction shooter, is very punishing. It's not very forgiving, and you will get sniped and then lasered. You will die very quickly at times. But the few rounds where I've had teammates that communicate, um, and we're kind of on the same page, then the PvP gets a little more exciting and engaging. Um, the PvE I actually prefer to arc raiders, not to mention arc raiders too many times, but I just like these enemies more than a lot of the floating robots you see in arc. Those don't really do it for me. Um, but I like the PvE, and yeah, the game is just it's pretty. The environment is enough to intrigue me and get me to stick around. I think in the movement, obviously, it's pretty slow. The movement is very tame, even with some of the movement based characters. But I do think there are little hints of Apex and some of the abilities, power ups, and even the healing animations. I think you'll see that. Not to say it plays like Apex, because it's about 1/10 of the speed of the gunplay and movement in Apex. And then some of the character models and environments, I think you'll see a little bit of Destiny, obviously coming from Bungie. And then obviously the extraction part, there's the arc elements, but it really has nothing in common with arc raiders, in my opinion, unless some of the specifics and looting and stuff are more similar than other extraction shooters. But yeah, overall, just me without hearing any outside opinion, I played the game and enjoyed it. So my big message for this video is just, I think you should try the game yourself. It's free right now. If you like it, keep playing it. If you don't, it doesn't matter if 90% of the people online are saying they want the game to fail. I think it's possible for a game to have a community smaller than Arc Raiders and still be successful. I don't think we need to be wishing that a game dies before it release just because we don't like the graphics or because we don't like the gunplay or because there's already an extraction shooter out right now that people are playing. This one, some people might prefer first person. They might prefer this unique art style. There's a few reasons why someone might want to play Marathon over other games. So, Arc, I gave it a try and I couldn't really get into it. The loop was just not there for me, but for some reason, Marathon has been a good time for me. So, if you guys want to watch me play it, I'll probably be playing it over on my Twitch, Voss_R58. I also play kind of whatever I feel like playing, but usually Battlefield, some Red Sick, Call of Duty, whatever is in my Steam library. So that's my 2 cents on this. Hopefully you can just play this game, form your own opinion, and if you don't like it, then you can discard the game and play something else. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, and have a great rest of your day.